Hey everyone. Hey everyone, welcome to the Breakthrough Entrepreneurs Show where we empower entrepreneurs, solopreneurs to overcome the challenge of work life balance, burnout, break bad, old, unhealthy, negative habits, behaviors, build new habits, create new rituals, new routines. I'm your host, Muhammad Faraj, and today our topic is avoid common bad habits that are impacting your life and your business. Okay, let's talk about bad habits and how to overcome them. Because as entrepreneurs, if we want to improve, grow our life, our business, and dream. Hey everyone, welcome to the Breakthrough Entrepreneurs Show where we empower entrepreneurs, solopreneurs to overcome the challenge of work life balance, burnout, break bad, old, unhealthy, negative habits, behaviors, build new habits, create new rituals, new routines. I'm your host, Muhammad Faraj, and today our topic is avoid these common bad habits that are impacting your life and your business. Let's talk about mistakes or bad habits that are running in your life and in your business and how to avoid these common bad habits so you can grow, so you can improve, so you can transform your life and your business. Because I'm telling you from my own personal experience, I've made so many mistakes. I've fallen back to my old bad habits so many times, and I got sick and tired of these bad habits because every time I repeat them, every time I feel stressed and overwhelmed, disappointed, and feel stuck in my life, feel stagnant in my life and in my business. And when you get to this point where you tell yourself that I am so tired of these bad habits, I've had them enough, I don't want to repeat those bad habits, I don't want to repeat the same old mistakes, same old behaviors, because it's enough. It's enough because I want to grow, because I want to improve my life, because I want to build my new version, because I want to be better every day, every week, every month, so I can grow, so I can build that new version, so I can become the type of person that I always dreamed to be, so I can upgrade my business, my life, so I can grow my relationships. Because some of those bad habits, some of those mistakes that you are making, that are costing you so much, my friends, that are wasting so much time of your life, that are wasting so much energy from your life. Those common bad habits, they are impacting your finances, they are impacting your relationships, they are impacting your clarity, they are impacting your goals, your dreams, your future vision. So why not start being aware of those common bad habits? Why we don't become attention? Why not become attention about some of these bad habits that are running in your life, that are costing you so much overwhelming and stress and feeling disappointment, frustration, and you end up living the same life. You end up experiencing the same life that you always experience, and you always constantly criticize yourself. You always wonder and tell yourself why my life is not changing, why my life is not growing, why my life is not improving, why my business is not growing, is not improving, it's not getting any better. Because I'm telling you from my own personal experience, I repeated so many bad habits that costed me to waste years of tiredness, of burnout, of not being able to manage my finances, manage my time, manage my projects, which leads us to constantly feel negative about our life, our business, and sometimes we even think about giving up or not reaching any progress, any results. We get tired of this life is not changing. It's just like stagnant water, where the water smells terrible because the water looks so ugly and it feels like the water is stagnant because it's not changing, because it's not getting new water, it's not floating, it's not changing. It's the same water, and when it stays, it looks stagnant. So the same principle applies to our life. When we are not managing our time efficiently, when we are not productive enough, when we are not focused enough, when we're not managing our projects, when we are not managing our energy, we end up in this cycle of repeating the same old bad habits, behaviors. We end up wasting so much time, wasting so much energy, wasting days, sometimes weeks. We are constantly getting the same old bad negative thoughts, feelings, emotions, which leads to the same life, which creates our reality. So why don't we become aware of these common bad habits, break them, start a new life, start a new page in our life, and reconnect to our vision, to our goals, to our dreams, get back on the track, and stop repeating those mistakes, those failures. So, one of the common bad habits that so many entrepreneurs or solopreneurs who experience, especially at the beginner stage of their business or their entrepreneurship journey, is not managing their time. If you're not managing your time efficiently, and if you're not improving, you will waste so much time. Some of those projects, some of those tasks, some of those weekly or daily goals needs your time. You need to manage your time efficiently so you can complete your work, so you can make progress, so you can complete projects that you have planned, that you have set milestones to reach, so you can reach your daily goal, your weekly goals, your monthly goals. So when you are not managing your time efficiently based on good, productive, positive habits, you will end up wasting so much time every day, every week, every month, and you will look back and you would notice that you have used so much time on distractions, on things that are not aligned with your goals, with your dreams. You have wasted so much time because of not being able to manage your finances or managing your projects, your tasks. So you waste so much time, but the mistakes, the bad habits are happening in the background and without your notice, without your awareness. So you waste so much time, and then you will criticize yourself. You will tell yourself, why am I not making progress? Why do I feel stuck? Why nothing is changing? Why am I not able to grow my business, my life? So this is number one mistake that so many entrepreneurs or solopreneurs make, which is not managing their time efficiently, not blocking a certain or specific time or limit for each task, for each project, for each meeting, for each conference, for each activity that is related to their business, to their goals. And the other common mistake entrepreneurs or solopreneurs make is that they are not managing their projects efficiently. You have so many projects, you have so many ideas, plans, and you are working on multiple things in your business, but when you are not managing your projects, your tasks efficiently, you will end up completing some of those projects or tasks, but some of those tasks or projects or activities that needs to be completed or done, they will stay uncompleted, and you will always focus on some of those tasks, some of those projects, but you will leave some of them uncompleted. That's why you overdo your deadlines. That's why you don't get things done. That's why you're unable to grow your business, to grow your finances, to improve your entrepreneurial life, because you put so much time, so much focus, so much attention in some of those that work, but you leave some of your work uncompleted. And some what can and one bad habit that so often entrepreneurs fall into is saying this, that I am fucking going to do it later. Where they some of the work that needs to be done uncompleted, some of the work that needs to be done or you need to complete, when you say I'll do it later, or when you delay some of your work, or when you postpone them to another date, that work will always be left uncompleted. So you don't finish your work, you don't complete some of your work because you lack managing your tasks, your projects. You're not managing your work efficiently. So we need to build new habits around this area, because we want to make sure that when we commit to our business, to our work, when we want to make strides in our business, we want to work efficiently, when we want to use our time effectively, we want to manage our projects, our tasks, our work more effectively, so we can grow in both areas, in managing our time and managing our projects. Because I promise you, once you set deadline or a deadline to your certain tasks or projects, and if you find yourself you have a bad habit that you are constantly overdoing some of that work, you're not completing them, you're ignoring some of that work, or you feel like they're not so relevant to you, and that way you will end up in the same results. You're not growing your business, you are, because you are lacking managing your work. So you need to build new habits around that area, where you are managing your work efficiently and making sure that your to-do list is completed at the end of the day, at the end of the week. Your goals, your milestones are reached at the end of the week, at the end of the month. So that way you don't feel lack, you don't feel stuck in your business. And the other common area that so many solopreneurs or entrepreneurs, they have bad habits or bad behavior, where they lack managing their finances. You need to manage your finances or your money efficiently, because if you are ignoring some of your bills, if you're not paying some of your bills, if you're ignoring some of your finances because they feel small, because they feel irrelevant to you, when you are paying for, like when you are paying a small membership fee for a service or product, and when you are ignoring paying your bills, so that company, that service will extend your bill. They will add extra money or fee on your bill, because you have a bad habit and you're not managing your finance efficiently. You are ignoring some of your bills. You think that, oh, they won't impact your business or your life because they're not a big deal, because those fees cost little money. But when they compound, when they added extra fees on your bills, this will compound into a big deal, into a big money. So you will be wasting so much extra money every month without your awareness, because of your bad habit of lacking managing your finances. We need to look at our finances in a different way, from a different perspective, because every small amount of fee matters in your business, in your entrepreneurial life. And some of those habits that constantly leave you feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and stressed, it's because you are ignoring your bills. It's because you're not managing your money, your finances efficiently. So maybe someone in your family can help you by paying your fees, your membership costs, and that way you don't feel stressed, disappointed, and overwhelmed. This happened with me a lot of times. I ignored my bills. I ignored those posts that I was receiving, and those companies, those services, they would just extend, they would just add it more fees on top of my bills, and I would be wasting so much extra money, whereas I could have built a better habit of managing my finances efficiently and making sure that I'm paying my bills at the same time, at the same date, and that I'm not overdoing my bills, that I'm not ignoring my bills. So these are some of the common bad habits that